My name is Melissa Sponseller. I'm the Business Intelligence Lead at Capital University in Columbus, Ohio. When I began my job 6 months ago, I was tasked with deciding whether or not we were going to stick with Informer or if we were going to go to Business Objects. When our school had purchased the ODS years ago, Business Objects was the software that was designed to work with the ODS and Ellucian's CROA system. And that turned out to be a failure at our campus. Many of our users had been using Informer. There was not a lot of training given for Business Objects. There were limited licenses, and the users just didn't feel comfortable with the software. And so it had kind of fizzled out and faded away. And so when I began the job 6 months ago, I dug into Informer and found that it was very easy to use, very easy to understand, given that we had been using the product and our users were comfortable with it, and the fact that we had an unlimited amount of licenses available. Those were all benefits to our institution. Additionally, I found that I could just bring in our ODS and make it a part of our Informer reporting also, so thereby solving a problem. In my previous position, I was trained to simply write SQL, which is standard query language, to access our database, which was a homegrown solution. Moving to my current position, I truly see the value of Informer as it gives the opportunity for more people to be able to access the data that they own. You don't need to have that technical training. You have a staff. Ideally, your IT support staff has set up your database and all your connections behind the scenes so that you are able to go and access the data that you own, that you need to report on with confidence, and be able to put together the reports in a timely fashion and be able to share those. Learning SQL is a pretty technical. Not everybody knows it or understands it. And so that's the nice thing about Informer, is that it opens up the ability to report on and analyze data even if you don't have that technical expertise, because as the owner of the data, you should be able to access it and use it. And Informer gives you that ability. You know, you have your technical person behind the scenes that has set all of that up. And so you're able then to go in and access the data, and knowing that there is a level of security, and you should be able to have that level of confidence that you're retrieving the correct data for your needs. At our organization, our users have quite a bit of access to Informer, and we do have at least one super user in each department. They have many reports that they have created themselves, are comfortable with running. They truly understand the data, and they are able to get what they need with minimal effort from the IT department. And in my opinion, that's the best way to go. They have the proper training on how to use the product. We want to put the power back into their hands to be able to, it goes along with that level of ownership. I'm most excited about the dataset feature in Informer, the ability to have every department have ownership of their data, to be able to join a bunch of our tables together, to be able to access what is needed, to be able to limit access if needed. For departments, for example, you could have a report for students in departments, and be able to send that report just to every distinct department at your institution, have the main data set, and then have it broken up into those distinct reports. And so the ability to share data, but also work smarter and not harder. That's kind of one of the mottos that we've been living by at our institution. Let's make it easier to not have duplication in our data, to make sure that our data is correct and accurate. And I believe that the data sets are going to really help us with that. Bottom line for us, our institution, like many others, it's a financial tough time for many institutions across the nation. And so we're obviously looking for the best bang for our buck. And I believe Informer gives us that. The ability to have multiple users on the system at the cost, is really invaluable for us. And the ability to be able to access our data quickly and efficiently, is very important too. And Informer gives us that also. I would absolutely recommend Informer to other organizations. It is a tool that is easy to learn and relatively easy to use. There is some training that you're going to have to take, but Intrinsic provides wonderful documents on training, wonderful help on the website, with links to almost any question you might have. And then if the question that you have isn't there, their customer support, hands down, is the best I've experienced from a company. I usually get a response within minutes of sending in a request from one of the representatives willing and able to help me answer anywhere from simple questions to very complicated questions. And so I really appreciate that.